The Girl Project is a project where we're going to be workshopping and dealing with teen issues that don't get dealt with a lot. And then in the end, we're going to have a finished product that we're going to present to people that hopefully will change other girls' lives as well as our own.
We're going to be creating a script and performing this entire show about like self-image and how society kind of forces that image on people, like how you should look.
So basically we're all together and we're going to learn certain things and hopefully make something big out of it. And I think it's very fun and I think it'll help a lot of people.
It's a project to help show girls really that they're beautiful even without makeup or without having to be super skinny or have the right clothes or act a certain way.
It's gonna really help the community, I think, because there's a lot of people, at least at my school, who aren't happy with the way that they are or how they look or just aren't happy with themselves. And I think that just having this around it is gonna help that and help show them that it doesn't matter how you look, but how you feel on the inside.
When I think of the Girl Project, I think of a way to empower other girls and make them feel like they have value.
I think it's really important to help other people find their way to self-esteem that comes from within and not from other people. And I would really like an opportunity to share some of my experiences and help other people hopefully reach that point in their life.
Girls are really important, and our generation is changing the world.
Lindsay Lohan did a spread in New York Magazine, which was, she was made to look like Marilyn Monroe. I don't know if anybody saw that.
Yeah.
You could Google it and see it. And she was posing as Marilyn Monroe when Marilyn Monroe was in her 30s. And the interesting part of the article to me was that Marilyn Monroe, when she had done it, she said, I'm in my mid-30s, really my beauty's almost over at this point. My beauty's on the way out, it's on the decline. And Lindsay Lohan was sort of trying to channel that, and it was sad on a lot of levels for me. Sad because I felt like, oh, if your beauty's on the way out in the mid-30s, that's so. What's after that? When beauty fades, you know, as you know, what's left essentially. So I want us to think about. We're gonna write a little bit about our bodies after this. What I want you to listen to is. How to play with language, how to use some things that aren't necessarily you wouldn't consider using. Writing about Lindsay Lohan, writing about Disney stars. How do you create those things in your writing too? How do you use media? So this is called To Marilyn and Lindsay. Bless the milk and the raw eggs. In the photograph, you are blonde curls bouncing breasts, a high giggle, an itty-bitty waistline, dye job, lips pouting, pomegranate-colored nipples, flouncing, free, look at me. In old photographs, you are holding so tight. 36, and how do you keep firm, Marilyn? How do you tease men and the camera, the lens and the world, your teeth clinging, clutching chiffon, diamonds in your cleavage, a come to, a hither. Oh, how you play the pinup, how you push pussy, play up promiscuity, pimp yourself for the fan dance flirt. Oh, how you flirt. For what? And bless the new child, who conjures your ghost, who wears a wig and sucks in until her waist is itty-bitty too, who bears breast and white teeth, diamonds and chiffon, who breaks down nothing but pushes that same come and get it. If I take it off, you will look at me. Please look at me as I strip for you. My whiteness like an antebellum phantom child come a-haunting, white sheets to slink into, my white behind and white light waiting for some white knight to come and save me. Look at me. Pouting lips and sunshine. It was the black boys who done it. Snorted the coke, drove the car, oblivion. Locked them up in chains. Behind bars, take them away. Look at me. The dye in my hair runs free. My hair is no longer auburn, it's blonde. My blonde is no longer blonde, it's platinum. My soundtracks, my elaborate lies, my house in the hills, my silk thighs. And then you can't hear my cries because I'm all mixed up telling little girls how to pose, how to pin up, how to strut into the light. Keep on, keep on. Bless you, little girl. 21 and all these tall tales you've been told by television shows. Victoria's Secret by E! True Hollywood Tales by History. All this about what will make the media want me. It's a lie, little girl. Because soon enough you will be 36 and 56 and 76, and then what will you do with all that beauty then? When the camera has fallen in love with younger, firmer, bigger, perkier, when men and women fail to worship your hips because your hips are old. How will your mind, your brain, the muscle of your heart take it when they realize you've given them up for plain and simple beauty?
So, my darlings, one last rule, and actually really the only real rule, is tell the story with no words. You can use vocal percussion, beatboxing, whatever, but it's not a told story. It's physical, it's rhythm, okay? You can change, the rhythm can change, get slower, get faster as you go along, but you can't speak it, all right? Unless you feel like you've got to say something. And then the rules are your own to break and bend, okay? But try to use as few words as possible, all right?
So one of the things that I started to become interested in as I was looking at the sheet of different things that you guys are sort of exploring, arms down at your sides, inhale, exhale. I know, it's so easy, right? All of a sudden we just start getting really tense, right? I do it too. There were two things, I am not, and body image. So those are the two sort of things. Since we're working physically, that's what we're gonna focus on today, okay? So, and I always think it's good that you guys know this is what the plan is and this is where we're going, okay? And because there's so many people out in the world that are so much smarter than I am, I wanted to share with you a couple of things that sort of inspired me as I was thinking about creating this next couple of hours for you. And I've got these for you if you want to take them at the end too. I printed them out for you to take with you if you want. So here are a couple of things that really inspired me when thinking about today. There's nothing more rare nor more beautiful than a woman being unapologetically herself, comfortable in her perfect imperfection. To me, that is the true essence of beauty. Love that. This one. This is a call to arms. a call to be gentle, to be forgiving, to be generous with yourself. The next time you look in the mirror, try to let go of the storyline that says you're too fat or too sallow or too ashy or too old. Your eyes are too small, your nose is too big. Just look into the mirror and see your face. When the criticism drops away, what you will see then is just you, without judgment. And that is the first step toward transforming your experience in the world.
Have you most identified with?
I've really identified with our guest artist, Caroline Harvey. She was fantastic. Her performance poetry was really something that I identified with since I'm a performer myself. And I really realized that my writing had gotten stronger ever since she came, and I found that I was able to perform my own writing, which was really exciting because I love to perform anyways, but it's really exhilarating getting to perform your own pieces.
Okay, this piece is called Consent. When the whole of your body wants only to become an earthquake, let yourself rattle. Rattle the bed, rattle the desk, rattle the whole house. Do not hold back your scream the way your grandmother might have taught you to be a silent offering of body. Be a natural disaster. Demand relief. Don't feel guilty. Let the man or the boy or the woman that you're with beg to kiss you. Let him call out your name. Make it sound like a sin. Let him sound like a prayer. Don't feel guilty. The 5-year-old girl that you once were, she has no idea what sex is, what kissing is. She doesn't know the shiver of difference between yes and no. She knows better than you what consent does or does not feel like in the soft place of gospel where we are none of us yet grown. She knows better than you what consent does or does not feel like in the soft place of gospel where we are none of us yet grown. So listen to her. Listen to her when on another day, some other boy is kissing your mouth and she begins to kick you from the inside out. When your jaw begins to ache and your shoulder starts to hurt, do not suffer silently through her riotous protest. She's telling you to tell him to stop. Tell him to stop. Tell him you only like touch when it's holy. Tell him the victim you once were will not suffer silently through anything less than sacred touch ever again. Or don't tell him anything at all. Just push his face away from you and say, dude, really, no thank you. He will leave. Let him leave. Don't apologize. Take a bath. Take a nap. Scream your own name. Scream any name you wish to scream. Scream, oh God, Holy Mother. Scream anything. Move your shoulder around in the water. Squeeze yourself while you sleep. Be so glad the 5-year-old girl you once were is talking to you again. Remember the days, the years when you couldn't touch, couldn't hug, didn't want to be next to anyone. Pat the 5-year-old girl you once were on the head and tell her she's doing a really good job. Tell her, I love you. Even if no one was saying it at the time, I love you. Thank you. Trust her. Trust her to make decisions about the men or the women that you will and will not kiss. Trust her to tell you when it's okay to turn your body into an earthquake. After all, she was the first among you. She was the first among you to know the difference between truly good and voiceless. Thanks. Thank you. Sometimes when poems or stories are really hard and I don't want to make a lot of noise, I go like this. Or you can go like this, which means clapping in sign language.
Have you learned anything new about yourself?
Ever since Girl Project launched, I think that I've truly found myself. You know, I've gotten to be with all these amazing young girls, and I've just really created a sisterhood for myself. And then I have all these mentors that just mean so much to me, and I know I can go to them for anything. And I think that it's allowed me to be more vulnerable in the aspect as far as telling people my story, telling people I had an eating disorder, I know what this is like, I can help you. And being broad with things, you know, even if you can't identify with what somebody's talking about, you can try. So I think it's definitely helped me to be more vulnerable towards people, and so.
Has your perspective on media changed while workshopping with the Girl Project?
Yes, because I've been more aware of how it portrays women and the way it sexualizes them and degrades them, I guess. I've just noticed that more and tried to avoid it.
Mm-hmm. Has your perspective on feminism changed?
Yeah, a little bit. I always thought of it as, well, we have like voting rights and legal rights and stuff, and I thought, I mean, from my ignorant perspective, I guess that's what I thought it was, but I realized now it's more of an empowerment thing, to be like more respected and just not just legal stuff, but like in our personal lives.
Have you paid it forward, what you're learning with the Girl Project?
Well, I know that in like a past experience when I was at a party and I saw something happen that definitely shouldn't have, a girl was getting taken advantage of. And we had that whole discussion about it and how like we're responsible for each other. And I think now that we've actually like thought about it and had this whole discussion on it, I would have definitely have changed that if I had known that before, but
Taken action.
In the future I would take action.
Are you more inspired to help women find their strength or their voice in a male-dominated society?
Definitely. Like if somebody came up to me and who like knew we were doing a Girl Project and like asked me a question about it, I'd purposely want to reach out to them. Even if they didn't ask, I'd just go up to somebody and totally be willing to just put myself out there to help them. And I would never have done that before because that's weird. Like you don't do that. You don't walk up to people who look like they're having a hard time or somebody who's struggling with something, just ask them if they're okay. But now that we've gone through this process, I feel like I'm much more open to that kind of thing.
To me now, the Girl Project is a support system in which I can make art that I'm proud of and that I can make it with people who I love. And I can continue to love them and I can continue to strengthen my art. And I just can't wait because it's not so much about the performance anymore that we're going to have later this year. It's about the journey. And again, that sounds cheesy, but it really is. It's about building relationships, healthy ones that are going to last a long time. And so the Girl Project it's a sisterhood, and it's really special. And I don't know if anyone who's not in it will understand it the way we do. Like they'll understand our performance and they'll understand the message we are trying to relay, I think, but the underbelly of the Girl Project is such a tight bond between everyone, and I know that we're going to stay friends, and I know that it's not just about play anymore.